Good day and a blessed morning to each of us, especially to our well-respected instructor of this class, Dr. Ricky Pante. So I'm Larry, Junior D. GUIMBARDA, currently a third-year undergraduate student here at CMC, currently taking up a course of Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education, major in Science. So I will be your reporter or your student teacher for this topic. And for this moment, let's assume that you are my students or my class and I will be your instructor. Okay? So are we all clear? Okay, thank you. So without further ado, our topic for this time, which is also the last topic for this chapter, is the 3 key leadership styles. So showing this image, I want you to analyze it and instill that ideas to your mind as we go through the topic because that idea will later be important as we relate it to the topic. Okay? So thank you for your cooperation. So in understanding the 3 key leadership styles, let's first define it. So a leadership style is a leader's characteristic way of behaving in most situations. So from your analyzation from the image earlier, it's like you're describing or defining already what a leadership style is. So we must understand, class, that every leader has its own distinct characteristic or approach as a leader due to a lot of factors. So pwede yan sa influence, the environment you belong, as well as genetics, right? So still, there's a continual debate about the nature and the nurture, or what we call I'm born to be a leader, or it can be learned through experience. So for sure, I know that all of you are pretty aware of this. So also in understanding a certain type of leadership style, here we have the leadership continuum or the classical approach to understanding leaders. Classify leaders according to how much authority they retain for themselves versus how much is turned over to the group. So from its definition, this leadership continuum is like a basis that helps us identify what kind of a leader are you or a person is. So there are 3 points in the continuum, which is the autocratic, participative, and the free rein leaders. And by the way, these are the 3 key leadership styles that we would discuss. So this image shows us the leadership continuum of Tannenbaum and Schmidt. In this image, we can see that there are 3 shaded colors, right? So in the light pink shaded area, we can see the authoritarian leadership style. So in the blue shaded is the participative leadership style. Then the last one is the red shaded area, or the subordinate or the free rein leadership style. So an authoritarian leader does the tell and sell. So in number 1, the leader makes all the decisions and announces them after the fact. Number 2, the leader makes all decisions and tries to sell the benefits. So a participative leader suggests, consult, and joins. Or in number 3, the leader develops ideas and invites questions from others. Number 4, leader presents their choice but is open to change. Number 5, leader presents problems, invites suggestions, and make decision. So in a free rein leadership or subordinate leadership style, the leader delegate and abdicate. Or in number 6, leader sets framework, then asks group to make a final decision. Number 7, leader allows group choice with only constraints being those beyond the manager's control. So, so to further discuss about the 3 leadership styles from the continuum, let's focus in each style. So first to discuss is the autocratic leadership. So autocratic leader attempts to retain most of the authority, make major decisions without seeking group input. They expect compliance without question, minimal considerations of subordinates' opinions, and often perceived as rigid and demanding. So from the word authority alone, we can really already see that a type of a leader in this kind of style has all the power or the rights within the organization or a team. So probably if we are on a setting that there's a leader like this, it is expected that the leader has all the voice and especially the decision, and our actions will be based by his own or own words. So probably if in this situation ay parati lang tayo nag-agree with our leader's command because of respect or fear on his kind of leadership. Pero pag pag motalikod na ang ingana nga klase nga leader, sigurado gyud nga libakon gina siya makaingon gyud ang mga storya na grabe jud kay tong atong boss ba, hagua pud ani niya oy, lamian na gid i-resign oy. um Makaingon pa usay nga kanusa pa man ni siya mo mapulihan oy. So that's why commonly if we know someone like this or in this kind of leadership, we can really describe them as a strict leader or as well as a very demanding type of a leader which causes a lot of frustrations, especially to those who are not used to be under this kind of leadership. I may describe it or some of my descriptions of it is might be exaggerated, but it is the reality na in this kind of leadership you can really see that there's a barrier between the leader and its subordinates. So but still there is still a good side in it, because although authoritarian style of leadership is not in vogue, many successful leaders are autocratic. So although it's not that common anymore, but we cannot deny the fact that karamihan in this kind of leadership is successful. So for example, the China, Russia, North Korea, and others. So we can really say that they are a really successful country. So right. So in fact, they are also called the so-called superpowers in this generation. So, and it couldn't be possible without their leaders in the person of Xi Jinping, Putin, and Kim Jong-un. So, which can be described as a brave, strong, and intelligent leaders. So now let's proceed with the number two key leadership style, which is the participative leadership. So a participative leader is one who shares decision-making authority with the group. So they value group input. It can be both people-oriented and tough-minded. So from the word itself, participative, we can really say that or say immediately that this kind of a leader provides an enabling and an engaging approach between the two parties. So a leader shares his ideas to its group and as well as valuing the choices of the group, and it's like they have a more cooperative or collaborative approach in reaching a certain type of goal. That's why they are being described as people-oriented and also as a tough-minded, because they are the leader and still the leader has all the power or the authority in deciding. So he or she has a big role in making the right and the best decision from all the ideas shared by the group, and the subordinates will respect the authority. So there are three subtypes of it, which is the consultative, consensual, and the democratic leaders. So upon digging to it, we could really understand more about participative leadership. So the first subtype of it is the consultative leaders. So a consultative leader solicits opinion from the group, but leaders of this type make it clear that they alone have the authority to make the final decisions. So although a consultative leader engages with his or her subordinate to seek opinions, still the leader itself is always has the authority of what is being or what is the final decision to be made. So this type of a leader just wants to know others' opinion, to know if there is a way better idea that could help or that could help their organization's growth. So to be formal, consultative leaders typically hold group meetings to discuss issues before making decisions. So second subtype of it is the consensual leaders. So consensual leaders encourage group discussion and base decision on group consensus, thus turning over more authority to the group than do consultative leaders. So in this subtype of participative leadership, leaders prioritize group agreement for decision making. So the leaders gives much authority to the group as the leader will let the group decides on a particular goal until they come to a mutual understanding or unified decisions of every members or as all the members agrees to it. So as a result, this type of style can lead to a longer decision making process as all parties need to agree. And the last one is that democratic leaders. So, a democratic leader confers final authority on the group, often using voting before making decision. So, democratic leaders turn over so much authority to the group that they are sometimes called free reign leaders. So, this type of leadership is also called as free reign leadership due to its style of giving much authority to the group. So in this type of leadership, democratic leaders delegate significant authority to the group for every decisions. It's like the leader will become a facilitator as the leader will let everyone share their opinions or voices. Then after it, the decisions will be made through voting. So next is the free reign leadership. So this type of leadership which is referred earlier to the democratic style of leadership, a free reign leader is one who turns over virtually all the authority to the group. So they issue general goals and guidelines to the group and then do not get involved again unless requested. So from what we read, we get the idea that a free reign leaders offers an extreme authority to the group. So it's like that almost all of the authority is within the group. So then this type of leader is extremely rare in involving with the group. After nilang magbigay ng mga goals and guidelines, he will or the leader will let their members decide itself to it. So because of its style, um, it can frustrate subordinates and can be seen as weak or ineffective. So it's frustrating due to as a subordinate, we normally needs guidance from our leader, right? And without or having a minimal amount of it, it can cause a lot to the subordinates mental state. So unlike sa democratic leadership kanina na i-compare sa free reign, may involvement pa ang leader doon sa democratic leadership. So, also, it is also weak and ineffective due to the clear reason that in this type of leadership, you can't really observe the presence of a leader. So, next slide is the transformational and charismatic leadership. When understanding a leader, it is important to know if its leadership is backed up with charm and talent and if it captivates the imaginations of others. So in this leadership, transformational leaders drive positive changes and it combines with charisma, inspiration, and intellectual stimulation. So contrasted with the transactional leaders who focuses on transactions for compliance, example, trade money, jobs, and security for compliance. So transformational leaders turn around failing situations, elevate performance to a higher levels. So just like in a transformational leader, it provides a positive impact to its group. The leader itself become a source of inspiration for everyone so that helps them to elevate their performance. So if you would put this type of leader in a stagnant or a group that has no hopes anymore, this type of a leader will provide an immediate result that helps the team to redevelop. So unlike sa transactional leaders, no, it's like they are just doing their duty as a leader to their group. They just transact every appointments, just like trading money, jobs, and so on. So without impacting or inspiring other lives, that is the transactional leader. So by the way, in becoming an effective transformational leader, you must have the charisma, ability to inspire, and the power to stimulate the minds of the others. And it could be done through the help of the next slide. So how transformation take place? So it take place in one or three ways. So the first way is raising awareness. Emphasize rewards, importance, and value. As a leader, it's our role to let our subordinates know the importance of every rewards, because having these rewards, this would become as a source of motivation that helps them elevate their performance. Also, rewards will give much value. So um, number two is beyond self-interest. So focus on group and organizational success. So in order for your team to be successful, it's important to set aside our self-interest. So dapat hindi tayo maging selfish, instead maging selfless tayo. So we must instill in our minds that we can't achieve anything if our own organization is failing. That's why it's better to focus on the organization's success. Cooperate with your team and never feel hesitant if you have some brilliant ideas. So number three is self-fulfillment. So move beyond minor satisfaction, encouraging personal growth and higher needs. So the leader will let its member understand what is the true self-fulfillment. So most of us napapansin ko na kontento na kaagad kung ano meron lang sila. So which is okay lang naman, but if you would be able to move out from that comfort zone, then that would be the time you would realize that there is much better reason to fulfill ourselves, that not just help us grow but also elevates our status as well. Next slide is the link between charisma and transformational leadership. So transformational leaders have charisma, the ability to lead others based on personal charm, magnetism, inspiration, and emotion. So charisma is the basis of referent power. So the link between transformational leadership and charisma is that in order to become a transformational leader, you must possess charisma, because it would help you as a leader to effectively transform others' lives. Through charm, you can be able to attract followers, be a source of inspiration, and become an effective leader. So, being a leader without a charisma will not help you to become a transformational leader. Dahil just like what is being said, charisma is the basis of referent power in the transformational leadership. So it means as a transformational leader, your type of leadership stems from your charisma. So it is where you gain the ability to influence others. So probably without it, you can't conclude that you are, or as a person is a transformational leader. So as a charismatic leader, we must have these significant qualities and actions of charismatic leaders. So first is vision. So offer an inspiring image of the organization's ideal future, inspiring organization to perform well. So as a leader, we must have the great vision, and as a leader who has a vision, we must be capable of making that vision clear in everyone's mind. Second or next is the masterful communicator. So they use colorful language and exciting metaphors and analogies. So it is expected that as a charismatic leader, they are experts in terms of using their voice. They have that great timing in using their words, and as the moment or as the moment that we will be able to hear them, it will result to us as being amazed of what we will be able to hear from them. So number three is trust. So charismatic leaders inspires trust even leading followers to risk their careers to pursue the chief's vision. So, charismatic leaders are great in gaining everyone's trust. So, makakasabi ka talaga na this person has a strong integrity, na this person is the one that would be able to be trusted dahil sa kanyang integridad. Kaya nga as the moment no na may ilagay ka sa isang charismatic leader na may pinaglalabanan, even na matanggal or terminate pa sa trabaho basta makamit lang ang goal ng inyong organisasyon, mupadayon jud gyapon ka sa pagtrust sa inyong leader. So bisan na pa na mga protesta, mo apil-apil jud ka. So same kay dati kay sa one of the most popular na inspirational speaker na si Martin Luther King Jr., he was able to get the trust of the majority due to his abilities to gain trust. So number 4 is empowerment. So they help team members to feel capable and competent. So as a leader, you can able to transform others to feel confident about their capabilities. And number 5, or the last number is the energy in action. So typically, high energy serve as a model for getting things done on time. So being highly energetic as a leader will be contagious towards your subordinates. So it will bring an adrenaline or a spark to someone to also to be like their leader. And now we're at the qualities and practices of ethical versus unethical charismatic leaders. So under the unethical charismatic leader, their qualities and practices includes uses personal power only for personal gain or impact, promotes on personal vision, censures critical or opposing views, demands on decisions be accepted without question, one-way communication, insensitive to the followers' needs, relies on convenient external moral standards to satisfy self-interest. So on the ethical charismatic leader column, the qualities and practices that it includes uses power, aligns vision with the followers' needs and aspirations. Next is considers and learns from criticisms. Next is it stimulates followers to think independently and to question the leader's view. So open or two-way communication. Coaches, develops and supports followers, shares recognition with others. Next is relies on internal moral standards to organizational and societal needs. So under the unethical charismatic leader, we can conclude that this type of a leader has selfishness in his self. So meanwhile, on the ethical charismatic leader, it is the leader that we are looking for. So looking for because this type of leader is inspirational, fair, and selfless. So now we're at the last topic, which is the super leadership or leading others to lead themselves. So leaders aspire to become super leaders by leading others to lead themselves. So as a leader, becoming a super leader is what they aim as always. So when you want to be a super leader, you are not just guiding or inspiring your subordinates, but you are able to lead them to become a great leaders as well. So super leaders act as a teacher and a coach rather than a director. So this is also another important aspect of being a super leader. You must be a teacher or a coach that shares valuable ideas or knowledge or experiences, skills, and guidance that will be imparted to the lives of your subordinates that they can use in the future as they become leaders also. So another key focus of super leadership is cultivating productive thinking. So under it is teaching team members productive thinking for self-control. Next is leaders serve as models of constructive thought patterns. So as they have this productive and constructive thinking within them, it will help them have control with their own behavior. become disciplined, responsible, and become a role model and a great leader someday. And that would be the end of my report as well as the chapter 2. So thank you for listening everyone. God bless.